Okay, let's look at one of the analysis. Can you see this? Uh, okay, can you see this?
Yeah.
Right. May I know whose one is this?
Fine. This is Kamara's.
Kamara. Okay, Kamara, can you just walk us through in terms of how you elaborated and analyzed this idea?
But wait. Okay. So, firstly, what
Uh-huh.
I said is because we're talking about rights of sexual partners.
Okay.
So, firstly, I kind of like tell what it means by like what is the right of sexual partners. So, that's what I wrote. With what it means that partner has the right to choose their future. That is what my idea of rights of
Okay.
sexual partners.
Okay.
So why did I say that they have the right to choose their future?
Uh-huh.
Is because we already established that HIV are spread through sexual intercourse. That is one of the medium of like spreading.
Okay.
So the partners have risk to contract the disease if they actually like have sexual intercourse with their partner. So um how does this affect them? It may affect them in terms of health because they will have a health risk which may lead to worse conditions like maybe death, because HIV is a very a very like um uh it's not like
It's
it,
a
it may
deadly
lead to death. Yeah,
disease.
it's very, yeah.
All right.
Okay. So so when this happened to them,
Hmm.
why is this bad? Is because this may strip them of opportunity
Mm-hmm.
to have a bright future with all like their hard work they have right now. So when you don't tell your partner, you actually are basically ruining their future in a way. Okay. So
Okay.
secondly, I wrote the aftermath of the disclosure, meaning that
Mm-hmm.
when you tell your partner, there might be two reactions.
Yeah.
There might be negative reaction and positive reaction. So
Mm-hmm.
for the negative reaction, I stated that the worst case scenario that could happen is you two might break up, like
Yeah.
that will happen to your relationship.
Mm-hmm.
But why is it okay to have a breakup right now? It's
Okay.
because in a way you will realize that you are able to protect your partner from like maybe ruining their future. You will have like you might you may you're able to protect them from that. And secondly, um from this um from this negative reaction you're getting,
Mm-hmm.
you will learn more for your future relationships. It means that it will be build more understanding for you to on how to maybe like communicate with your partner for your next relationship.
This is for
um
the patient or the partner.
be patient. I mean, it's good for the patient and for the partner, both sides, because when you have a breakup, obviously you will learn from it for your future like
Mm-hmm.
relationships or not. That's what I thought. So if your partner actually have a positive reaction of you having HIV, at least both parties will be able to take measures to practice like safe sex or something to continue their relationship, right? Because like to do like safe sex and all, it requires a lot of knowledge and a lot of research. You may need like medical supervision to do it. So when you tell them you actually have HIV, now you can take this step and continue on with your relationship in the safest like way possible. So why is this good? Why is it good? Because through this you can actually have more understand when your partner actually accepts that you have this HIV. You have more understanding between each other, because when your partner accepts that you had HIV, it shows that they have more trust in you, because your partner is willing to sacrifice their health to continue the relationship. And secondly, why is it good? Because there will be more closure for discrimination against people with HIV. meaning that there will be more people who understand, who does not think that people with HIV are such a bad thing. So it will increase people's knowledge about HIV. So in conclusion, partners are rights of sexual partners are important because partners are able to be aware of how their choices will affect their future, and they will take the best step to protect both parties. That is my advice.
Okay, all right. Um, on the idea of protecting the future of the spouses, right? So, you talked about two scenarios, the positive and the negative, right? And you also mentioned that HIV is a deadly disease. So, my very first question is, if the partner decided to go forward with the relationship, don't you think it is jeopardizing their future? That's number one. All right. And the second question is that, well, you are only thinking of protecting the future of the sexual partner. What about the implication the patient will have to go through if, if the relationship turn into sour because of this information? Because most often HIV patients itself, they go through tremendous of suffering, and they're probably in bad shape as well. And by forcing them to reveal this to their partner, not in the timeline that they wanted, don't you think it's going to aggravate their health? Tamara?
I didn't really think about that, but in my opinion, for the um health of the person with HIV,
Mm-hmm.
yes, if they feel forced to tell about their health status to their partner, it may deteriorate their health
Mm-hmm.
furthermore. But I feel like when you actually like tell your partner maybe like in the earliest in the in the earliest of time, you will have like
Mm-hmm.
a better way to um to like to how do I say this, to take care of your health. Like you will have like you can plan more, as in terms of like how you can um how how the person with HIV can actually like take a safer way to um protect their health. Is that I'm not really sure.
Okay, okay, I'll buy that. I'll buy that. All right. So, in the sense that when you protect them, all right. So, when you force them into revealing the HIV status, all right. So, the scenario is this: the first one, we're talking about them going for proper treatment, all right, because they agree to be in the relationship. Whereas on my second question about aggravating the health of the patient itself, well, you can always just talk about it in the sense that, well, you see, you are looking at the patient. What about the mental state of the sexual partner when they are not informed, and let's say later on they contracted the disease from the partner? So we are also affecting the innocent lives, right? So we can counter argue in that way. All right. So
Okay, thank you, madam.
right. Okay. It's a good try, Kamara. All right. So, but what I can see from here is that you talked about two scenarios. So, the aftermath of disclosure. So this comes into the analysis. We talk about there are two possible solution, or there are two possible outcomes that may occur because of this, because of the disclosure of the information itself, right? When you transparently tell your other partner about what you have in bed. Okay, thank you so much. All right. So let's see the second one. Okay, whose one is this?
Teacher?
Christina, is it? Yeah? Is it your mom?
Yes, teacher.
I can understand, no problem. All right. When are you girls going back to the campus?
Um, for March,
For
for
April, 4th
April.
of April.
4th of April, so pretty soon. All right. Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, Christina, walk us through what you have done over here.
First of all, sorry if I'm a bit inaudible because I'm having ulcers, so like it's
Ah,
on my.
okay, okay, okay.
Okay, so on my points under the rights of the sexual partner,
Mm-hmm,
first of all, I have mentioned that to establish a relationship in the
mm-hmm,
first place that we know when we are aboard for a relationship, it consists of honesty between the two of you, and even if it's just like a puppy love or something that you're going for a short term, we know that okay, so if you want to tell the partner, you must know in the first place already that you're in for it for the long time. And then I believe that it is especially when it will lead to putting the people that you love in danger of getting infected with a dangerous disease. And then I mentioned about what happens when this disclosure is being done. So I believe that when you go for this disclosure with your partner, the partner has the chance to make choice. First of all, whether to stay and battle the disease, knowing well that it doesn't transmit through touch or sharing food, but through sexual intercourse, which means that they have to have the knowledge, or they have to know, bear in mind that they must practice safety sex, which means that they require the knowledge to do that. They require the patience to do that. And this also means that they are most likely to not have offsprings together, because HIV also transmit through breastfeeding, which means no offsprings can get passed through that, actually, because you need that healthy condition, right? And next, if the partner decides to stay and battle the disease together, I believe that they should learn to overcome the situations and learn more about the HIV to prevent the infected person from feeling vulnerable, because especially when the infected person itself, right, when they know that they are now different from how they used to be before, or they know that this HIV situation is actually quite rare to fight together, because in the status quo right now, most partner, even with the long term one, when like they are in a marriage or whatever, when one partner gets the HIV, they tend to leave. But there are some that actually stays in the relationship, but it's very hard to deal with. They go through counselors to get past through this together and all that. So we know that it takes a lot of patience, strength, and a lot of work together to make it happen if you want to stay with the partner that is infected. And the other choice is actually to leave the relationship, but this happens with the one that was infected, knowing that this is something that will happen. So this will not turn out as a one-sided decision, because before that person that was infected tried to tell the partner about his or her condition, she or he has already bear in mind that, oh, if I do this will be consequences. Now I just leave this part of choosing to my partner, because being in that state where you're the one that is depending on the other person, whether that person will stay or not, he or she will feel the the need to actually tell in anyways, because like you can't really just brush the state of your health in like just let it go like that, because your state of health is actually very it will lead to more stuff in the future. You just can't brush it off like that anyways. And in the conclusion, I believe that the freedom of making a choice for the sake of our own health is valid to everyone, And even if it means cutting off relationship, that will most likely to result into risking the life for upcoming offsprings and the partner. I think that's all to make it simple under the points.
Okay, right. Um, Christina, I've got questions for you as well. You spoke about the idea of no offspring, that means no children. Is it something that you are assuming that these partners will take up such decision, or is it something in law?
I believe that the one where I said that there will be no offspring, it is actually something that will tend to like the result of having this disclosure with their partner. This is something that will lead to no offspring, because if one decided to stay in the relationship, I believe that they would have the knowledge to know that they cannot practice any like safe sex or whatever, because there should not be any babies because they can't be together, right?
But anyway, who are we to tell them that, they can't have babies, all right? Well, that is a secondary notion in the debate. We are not talking about whether they should have babies or not. But what we want them to do is that we want them to reveal, so that if they are planning for a child or not, they can actually work towards in a healthy way, and be prepared, in that kind of circumstance. I think if we are just depriving the right, if you're going to say, hey, we want you to reveal to your partner, but at the same time, you guys cannot have any babies.
I see. So it's like if you have HIV, you just know that the baby like there'll be an outcome of a baby, but it won't be
Yeah.
safe. So they're on it for the risk, right, teacher?
Yeah, so they're on it. I mean, let's say if you're gonna force them, or I mean, let's say if you're gonna expect them to reveal to their sexual partner, right? So there are two circumstances. Of course, they can decide whether they want to have a baby or not. That is upon their discretion. But let's say if they decided to have a baby, well, then this is where the healthcare system comes in. They seek for help, and they're guided through certain process. They go through certain process in terms of preparation for having a baby who might be infected as well. It's not like for sure the baby is going to be infected. There are cases where the parents are HIV carriers, but the babies are perfectly fine. So it all depends on what kind of case are we talking about. But here, the concept of offspring should come at the very end. The most important thing is that you want to talk about honesty. I do understand that you want to establish the notion of honesty and transparency in a relationship. Yeah, so try to expand more on that, okay? And then maybe talk about how by forcing these patients to reveal such a personal information can actually benefit both parties. We want it to be in a check and balance situation. All right, but again, on the idea of honesty itself, Christina, you talked about that you have to reveal this piece of information because you want honesty in a relationship. But again, my question to you on honesty: why do you want to force, or categorize this concept of revealing a very personal information to your sexual partner as a part of honesty in a relationship? Honesty is not just about revealing something that's very confidential to a sexual partner, but honesty is about you being probably hiding or concealing information that may affect the relationship. But why is there a need for us to uh, you know force them to reveal a very sensitive information in the relationship to their partner? What is the dire need of forcing? Christina?
I don't quite catch that, madam.
Okay, for example, right, you are gonna force, right, you're gonna force honesty, force them to be honest with each other, isn't it? you're going to force them to reveal a very personal information to their sexual partner. So my question is, what is the dire need of forcing these partners who may already have trust with each other, and probably they're comfortable in revealing certain information at their own uh, in their own timeline and comfort, rather than we pressuring it? Why is there a need of making it mandatory?
Believe it's because the matter of health of one, especially when it will eventually infect the anyone that comes like close contact with the infected one. It won't be brushed off just like that. In the As a matter of fact, it will later on gives effects to the people around if it's like being brushed off just like that. So I think we should make it like we should compel them to you should require them or the doctor or the health assistant to inform them. I think that because when we do like assistance a family or a couple on their health being, I think that we will obviously analyze, oh, who are they like close to, who do they meet every day, and also I think it is very important for us to require people that will affect anyone in danger, that they are at risk.
Okay, all right. Hmm, wanna
Excuse
one?
me, madam.
Yes,
May I ask a question?
yes. To me or to Christina?
To you.
Oh, okay.
Um, from this motion, it says like this house would compel, right? Meaning it will like make it necessary for them to
Yes,
tell partners, right?
yes.
Does this mean like it will? Yeah, you have to tell your partner in your early when you get into a relationship, meaning that it's in your early state of relationship, or does that mean it's just any whenever, but you have to tell juga eventually?
Well, that depends on how the government is going to take the case. But
Oh,
most likely, it's going to be at the initial start of the relationship, all right? Because you want to start off the relationship in a transparent manner.
so if it were in that sense, can you say something like if you were to tell them right now, if you were to tell them later on, maybe you would have maybe like between your partners and yourself, you may have built a stronger like bond with each other, like you have more affection towards each other, and when you tell them like later on, it will be more heartbreaking than telling them in the first state. Is that, can you say that,
Yeah,
or
yeah, you can say that. Yeah, we want them to reveal at the start of relationship because we want them to make choices. All right.
yeah,
A relationship should start in a transparent manner where one should be able to clarify information with the other partner before they engage in a relationship. When when it will be too late for one to share
yeah,
a very significant information at the end of the relationship, where it might actually
affect them more?
affect them in a more large scale manner.
Yeah, okay, thank
All
you, madam.
right. Okay, thank you, Kamara. Okay, now, okay, thanks, Christina. Now let's look at the next one. Okay, whose one is this?
Mine, Damian Nuris.
Yes, hi.
Ah,
Can you walk us
alright.
through?
Okay. For creating like crafting what rights I would like to argue about, I actually like referred to 2 out of 3 of the initial way HIV is transmitted, which is
Yeah.
sexual intercourse and the mother-child contact. Because I think like the third one regarding like blood sharing wouldn't be like um
Relevant
wouldn't
so
be
much.
used. Yeah, it won't be much relevant in this motion. So
Okay.
firstly is through sexual intercourse,
Mm-hmm.
and I stated like how directly it would affect through this way of transmission. So through
Mm-hmm.
sexual intercourse, it would risk their own health. And if through mother and child contact such as pregnancy, breastfeeding, and giving birth, it would risk the future family, indicating like the children. when the mother is infected with HIV.
Okay.
So based off that sexual intercourse one, for the rights, I stated like what right does this partner actually have, and what would happen if the information were disclosed if they choose to continue the relationship, and what would happen if it's undisclosed and the relationship is still continued. So firstly, if in context of health, which includes themselves and also their future children if they decide to have any, is firstly they would take like precautionary steps. So this can be applied in like two fields. So firstly in precautionary steps in the sense of that person's sexual life. Maybe they will get like more educated regarding HIV and what they actually need to do in order to not contract HIV. And secondly, in precautionary steps in having actual children, like you would be prepared to face this risk of having your children actually contracting HIV. So you would get them the proper medication and getting them regular tests and whatnot. And if it's undisclosed, you will have this partner and the future children will have a risk of contracting HIV without them actually knowing that they're contracting HIV. And this is very dangerous to them, because there would actually be like no or only little medication taken, because they don't know that they've been infected, because HIV isn't like something to actually like show direct symptoms and effects. And secondly is regarding the right to a truthful and stable relationship, because I think the key to this type of relationship is transparency, and this includes being transparent about this issue. Now, when you disclose this information, you get to establish trust, and you would create more understanding between one another, because you would respect one's wishes, because you would actually know a certain context to why this person is rejecting doing this or doing that, because you know like um the context of it would be HIV, so you wouldn't so there wouldn't be much more a lot of lying and a lot of trying to cover ups. And it will also create more awareness, because you know that your partner is actually a patient of HIV. Now, if it's undisclosed, it's the direct opposite of it. It creates more conflict, as I stated earlier, and also less understanding.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Can you tap on the idea of understanding? What do you mean by that?
I think it's still in the context of like you respecting one's wishes. Like for example, did this your partner wants to okay, is a scenario if like your partner, if you have HIV and your partner wants to do something, but you could potentially have them get infected by HIV by doing that. So when you tell so it would be like if you tell them no and they don't get like a specific context to why you're saying no, or you're just trying to cover up why you're saying no with like others um other things, not HIV, that would like create more conflict and fights, I guess, because you're not being transparent and honest
Okay.
as what
All right. Okay. I have a question for you as well. Well, we spoke about respecting the decision of the sexual partner, right? What about respecting the need of the patient itself? Are we going to overlook on that?
I think that of course HIV I think is kept as private information, and something like very very super private to that person, that to an extent is not exposed to everybody. It's because that um I think the rationale behind this is because wait, I need to sentence.
Okay.
Okay, I think that this partner needs to be transparent regarding this HIV to their sexual partner specifically, because this HIV could actually directly harm them, because they're going to do things that would actually like affect them. Now this is different with them telling this to their family members or friends or whatnot, because these people they would actually get the direct harm of knowing this, because they would do like sexual intercourses or like have like mother or child contact with them. So there would be like a rationale for them to know, because they're not risking their lives, and their partner, if they're risking their lives if they don't know. So I think it's, yeah.
Okay, all right, I'll buy that. What about, we have to admit to the fact that not all sexual partners of these patients are going to be their lifelong partners, right? So,
Right.
what kind of implication are we going to inflict if we're going to impose this to make sure that they reveal this information to all their sexual partners? Don't you think it's going to affect and put the reputation of this HIV patients at stake, or might
Yes, I
harm their future relationship?
I also I also think they would, their sexual or like ex their current or like ex sexual partner will also be affected, because as I said earlier, like there's still the risk of you contracting HIV. And if
Mhm.
that for instance, if you're already like broke up with this partner, did that did if HIV is transmitted, it's still transmitted, and it could affect that partner's future child, even though
Mhm.
if that your ex-partner is with someone without HIV, but they already contracted that um that they have already contracted HIV, so their lives are already risk, I guess.
Well, what about the case? Let's come up with this analogy, right? So this patient A was with this person B, and eventually broke up, and then trying to get into a new relationship. But apparently this person B goes around and spreading information from their side of the mouth, which is not ethical.
I think that of course it would damage their relationship, but I think the rationale of this ex-partner telling a lot of people is because they are aware that HIV like could risk your life, I guess.
Well,
But
don't
I
you
also
think it's
want to
better? Yeah, yeah. Don't you think it's better if we just make it, if we don't, make it mandatory, but just give the autonomy to these patients to decide on whom they want to reveal or not? Because I'm pretty sure they are sensible enough to make a close choice on their life choices.
with a partner that they know they're gonna stay committed to.
Probably, rather than making it compulsory for them to reveal to all their sexual
To
partners.
Yeah, I can't think of anything as of
Right.
now.
Okay. Yeah. Just
But
just for you to, uh,
but
just for you to think about it. Yeah. All right.
yeah.
These are some
Excuse me,
possible.
Adam,
Yeah. Yeah.
can I ask, like, how would um what would be like the best solution to cater to these patients' feelings and like their mental health and whatnot,
Right.
if they were to expose this? Because I really can't think of
Well,
anything.
when we talk about, yeah, that's what we have to explain out, all right? So we have to understand that these patients, all right, when they are confirmed, all right, as a carrier of HIV, they usually go through a series of counseling. This is already in status quo, it's already in place. When
Right,
they go through a
right.
series of counseling and treatment at the hospital or clinic, so they are usually informed of what are their roles and responsibility. So at this point of time, we believe that we have to make it compulsory for them to reveal to their sexual partner, because they have been informed of these rules, and
Ah,
them not taking up such responsibility can harm the innocent life. So we believe that we don't want the innocent lives to be kept in the dark, and we don't want to put them at risk. So for that reason, we want to make sure that these patients who are confirmed carriers to inform to their sexual partner.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that's how we can counter. Yeah. All right. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, let's look at the next one. Hi, whose one is this?
This is Melissa's.
Hi, yeah. Can you just walk us through?
Alright. So first of all, I'm sorry because it's kind of simple, but I'm gonna try to elaborate more.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. So first of all, I give the definition of HIV briefly. So H stands for human, I stands for immunodeficiency, and V stands for virus. So it's
Okay.
human immunodeficiency virus. It's the virus that attacks the body's immune system. So
Okay.
when the virus attacks the immune system, we as a human, we need the immune system to live. So when the virus actually attacks the immune system, we need to live with it for a lifetime. Yeah.
Okay.
So there's no like an effective cure to heal HIV. Right. So secondly, who are most likely to get HIV? So it wasn't stated there, but I found this like research here. So who are most likely to get HIV? In the United States, gay, bisexual, and other men who have sexual intercourse with men are the population most affected by HIV. According to CDC in 2018, gay and bisexual men accounted for 69% of new HIV diagnoses. So as we can see, most HIV disease cases comes from gay and bisexual men. Okay. So wait. Excuse me, Meda, can you please scroll up a little bit?
Okay.
Okay. So first, secondly, I talk about the importance of disclosure. Why the patient of HIV needs to disclose their disease with their sexual partners. First of all, this is to build a long-lasting relationship. And how does a long-lasting relationship can be built? It needs trust, bravery, and honesty. So um, behind trust, why we need trust is because if we really do want to build a long-lasting relationship, the partner needs to trust, needs like a trust between themselves. So if they don't have trust, then there may be like have any um like problems with understanding themselves. So when they disclose their disease to their sexual partners, then if they can actually understand them, then it will actually build a more stable relationship. But if the sexual partner can't understand the patient, then this can cause up to like breakups. So for bravery, I think it's very important to have the bravery to disclosure your disease to the sexual partner, because if we don't have the bravery to disclose our disease their disease, and I actually found that to like how long you can stay undetectable for HIV is like around in 6 months. So I believe that in that period time of 6 months, your sexual partner might find out that you have HIV. So I think it's really important to find a time where you're most comfortable to disclose it with your sexual partners, but also try to make it fast, because HIV is indeed a really deadly disease. So for honesty, it's mostly the same as trust, but I believe that honesty is the best policy. And if you don't have honesty towards your sexual partners, then there's like no interactions or any love in your relationship. Yeah, I hope you get that. So next reason why the importance is to protect your loved ones or sexual partners. So if I say like they are already in a they are already in a long relationship where they have like children, then they might consider them as like one of their loved ones. But if they are just starting their relationship, like maybe like just dating or what, so I believe that um this I believe that protecting them were really important, and how you can protect them is by disclosing that you have the disease, which is HIV. If you don't disclose it with your loved ones, then they have a really big chance of actually getting the of actually getting HIV or any side effects of HIV. Okay. So thirdly, um, when you disclose about having HIV, it will make living with HIV easier. And I know that disclosing HIV is like a bad thing. It's a bad disease. It's a very deadly disease. But if you keep it to yourself, then it will be harder for you to manage it by yourself. So you need other people to help you manage it with yourself. You need other people for you to like um to tell about your problems having HIV. So I believe this can be the sexual partner, and this is why it is really important for you to disclose it for you with your sexual partners. Okay, so it also can improve mental stability and relationship with sexual partners and loved ones. So if you don't disclose it with your sexual partners, then like in one study, a lot of HIV patients often have like mental instability because they are keeping the disease towards themselves, and they are really stressed about it. And I think it's really important to disclose it with your sexual partner in order to express how you actually feel and release the stress of keeping that disease to yourself. So after we disclose about the HIV, about our HIV, about their HIV disease towards the sexual partner, so there are maybe like um two reactions of the sexual partner. So the first one is negative and second one is positive. So what happens if the sexual partner reacts negatively? So first of all, the biggest consequences is that they might broke up, especially if it is a short, especially if it's like maybe a long distance relationship or they just started, then they might actually broke up due to like um being honest towards their sexual partner. So the second is they might, okay, just the same as I said, long distance relationship. And the third is the feeling of betrayal. As I said that if like mostly if they have like the most people to get HIV is when they have sexual intercourse with like men and men, right? So if they are married to a woman and the the wife, in this case the wife um knew that the husband is actually like gay or bisexual, then it will make them feel like they betrayed her because they have sexual intercourse with other men. So this would like destroy their relationship most probably. And lastly is embarrassment because the wife or the sexual partner might felt embarrassed that the that their partner is doing things like that and already getting HIV, because a lot of people don't want to have like children with HIV infected peoples, right? So for the positive, for the positive reaction is first you will have like protection. So when the people disclose their when the people disclose the disease or like HIV problems to their sexual partners, then they now have like a place where they can share their feelings, share their thoughts, share their difficulties about living with HIV. And the sexual partner can help them to like to take care of him or her. So next is encouraging the patient. So when they disclose about the HIV disease, then this will automatically like the sexual partner will can encourage the patient, the ones that are having HIV, to stay strong, to keep on living and build a better relationship with her. So next one, the last one is comforts the patient. So as I said earlier that HIV patients often feel stressed about keeping the disease to themselves. So if they disclose it to the sexual partners, then the sexual partners will comfort them. That will comfort them to like comfort them to handle the disease and give them proper Medicare. Yeah, I think that's it. Sorry if that's not a lot.
Right. Okay. Mel, I've got like a couple of questions for you. Yeah. All right. So on the idea of trust, okay, and you said that it is important to reveal this information because it will lead to trust, right? It will establish trust in a relationship. Well, apparently, trust is a very subjective piece of idea, and not necessarily just by sharing such a confidential piece of information you would regain trust with your partner, right? And then the second idea, you talked about something on infidelity, right? That means when the husband has some other affairs, extramarital affairs apart from the wife, and then he comes home and reveal this piece of information. Well, what are we trying to prove at the end of this debate? Do you want them to reveal this information because they want to protect their sexual partner, or you want them to reveal this information so that they can be transparent about their infidelity? Second question. The third one is you also tapped on the comfort of the patient. Well, when we talk about the comfort of the patient, how sure are you that the patient are feeling uncomfortable keeping a very important information all by themselves? And then when you force them, they would actually feel better. And probably their sexual partners are gonna soothe or calm them. Probably it could backfire them. We don't know, because I think that is a fabricated piece of information, and most of the time a very confidential information is meant to be is meant to be is meant to be secret, because rather than forcing them to reveal the information, so we provide them a choice, just like in status quo. So if they feel that they are unhappy, they feel that they need help, they would voluntarily share this piece of information with their partner rather than forcing them. What is the dire need of forcing them? So when they don't want to share, it means that it makes them uncomfortable of revealing such information. Go on, Mel. Do you have answers for my queries?
Excuse me, madam. Can you like repeat the questions one by one, and I'll answer it one by one?
Oh my, you
So
didn't take
if
note?
I
You
catch
must take note, you know?
Yes, I
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, you need to take note. When POIs come in, you have to take note quickly what they are asking. You cannot ask them to repeat. My first question is on the issue of trust, yeah? Trust is very subjective, all right? How do you expect that just by revealing a very sensitive information will actually build the relationship based on trust? Because trust can be gained in many ways, not just by sharing a confidential information. The second one, all right. Okay, you want to answer that first?
Madam.
Yeah, go on.
All right. So I believe that HIV is like a really big problem, and not everyone can have and not everyone have HIV in case like if they have like affairs and anything. But for me, HIV is a really big problem, and the first step to building a relationship is having the core of trust. So how to build the core of trust is first you can just by it's as easy as disclosing about your HIV, which is a big problem. And once your sexual partner take note of that you're having and that you're having HIV, then they would actually know that you are trusting them to keep it like to keep it um to keep it as secretive information by give uh by disclosing about HIV towards your sexual partner was informed that you are trusting them.
Okay.
That's what
All
I
right,
say.
I can buy that. But what about if it affects them in this way that they had previous relationship before their marriage or not, and that actually hampers the trust of the sexual partner towards the patient itself? And that leads to my another argument where you spoke about this husband, all right, having a gay partner, right? So what are we trying to do at the end of the day? Are we trying to protect the patient and the partner, or we just want to expose their infidelity?
I think at the end of the day, we are trying to protect the patient and the the emotion of the sexual partner, because I know that disclosing about your HIV disease is a hard thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
But from what I said, when you actually disclose your HIV problem with your sexual partner, your sexual partner actually have trust in you, and that you are actually trusting them and not your gay and not your like gay or bisexual
No,
partner.
no, no, no. Mel, it's very dangerous. We don't want to bring in the idea of infidelity in this debate, okay? Because then it goes to a different approach. That means then you are talking about the marriage or the relationship. But now we are only talking about HIV patients, yeah? HIV status. We don't want to talk about infidelity and all because it's not part of the debate, yeah? All right. What about the comfort of the patient? You spoke about the concept of comfort, that the patients are feeling uncomfortable keeping this information all by themselves, and then by revealing this piece of information, it will help them to feel better, and they would probably get some sort of help from their partner. Well, my question to you: how do you know they're going to get help from the partner, and probably the partner is just going to ostracize them? Or then my second question is, well, if they're feeling uncomfortable, even in status quo, they can already talk it out. Why do you have to force it on them?
So about the comfort thing, I think that like if you're not comfortable with if you're uncomfortable with keeping it towards yourself, then the best way is to reveal it, to disclose it towards your sexual partner or your family. So there's like there's like
So yeah, they are already feeling. I'm sorry, they're already feeling uncomfortable, aren't they? So which means that they can always talk it out. Why do you want to make it compulsory for everyone to reveal the information? But most likely, some of them are not feeling comfortable of revealing the information.
yes, I know that sometimes people are uncomfortable with revealing the information, but based on what I read, a lot of HIV patients who don't disclose their disease towards like others, like sexual partners or like families, and just keeping it towards themselves, actually leads to um what self-murder.
Well, well, they could always counter argue that, Mel. They will always say, well, that is based on your reading and doesn't actually collectively represent the whole population of HIV patients. Understand?
um
So, when we are throwing in ideas, we want to be very careful, okay? So rather than you talking about the comfort of the patient, I felt that that was a very shaky idea, and that doesn't really relate back to the right of the sexual partner itself. So you may don't want to talk about it, all right? So that could just come probably in terms of analogy or something like that, but it cannot be a main form of argument. Yeah. All right. But anyway, good work, Mel. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, madam.
Okay. So I'm sorry if
Excuse me,
I'm
madam.
yeah, I'm sorry if I'm too hard on you girls, but this is the reality. This is how you girls are gonna get attacked later on in the
Right.
debate. Yeah. Yes. Who's this? Katija, is it? Yeah. You have a question. Yeah.
Madam, I have a question.
For me
Regarding
or for her?
for you, madam.
Okay.
So if we have like in debate, let's say this motion would come out in a debate.
Mm-hmm.
Can um can we like say that, can we, as in for the rights of the sexual partner, can we put like say that this is like it's a law to tell your sexual partner and all, because like from some articles, um you have to it's compulsory for you to tell, or else you your sexual partner or healthcare providers, or
Well,
else you get sued or something like that.
okay, well, that is the application part of the law. All right. So if you're going to make it compulsory, then yes, we can have certain form of implication. But at the status quo, there is no law. You are just trying to pass the bill at the moment. There's no law, so we can't really bring that concept unless it's already in place. Like, let's say if it's a marriage, before marriage, I think in Islamic religion, okay, because there is a certain there are certain courses that you have to go through. So I believe in Islamic religion, it doesn't apply to non-Muslim marriage, okay? So in Islamic religion, the partner will have to reveal, okay, this information to their spouse before they get married, only in Islamic religion, okay? But it's not made compulsory for non-Muslims, okay? So the idea of law cannot be brought in unless it's already in place. At the moment, it's not in place. Yeah. Plus that only applies for married couples though. What about the flings?
All right. Thank you, madam.
Okay, whose one is this? Whoa, it's already 5. I wanted to have a debate session. Well, whose one is this?
My madam, Azra.
Yeah, hi, Azra. Can you just briefly tell us what is this about?
All right. So first of all, I mentioned the definition of HIV. So HIV is a sexually transmitted disease and a condition in which progressive failure of the immune system allows life-threatening opportunistic infections and cancers to thrive. So my first point on their partner's rights is HIV is a sexually transmitted disease. So the risk of their partner getting the same disease is possible. So this already gives the person the right and option to choose whether or not they want to be with the be with the patient. Sorry. So let's try putting ourselves in their shoes, the partner's shoes. So imagine you have a partner with HIV who doesn't inform you of their disease further who doesn't inform you of their disease beforehand. So of course um, you'd feel violated a little bit because someone is actually risking your life for, let's say, just sexual intercourse or anything like that. Other than that, they get to decide for themselves if they want to put themselves at risk. So by not informing our partners of a deadly disease, it's basically taking away their right of living because we are risking their life for just because of our disease. So there are also actually laws on the partner's rights to know. So
Okay.
many states have laws that require you to tell your sexual partners if you're HIV positive before anything were to happen, or you can tell your drug using partners before you share drugs or needles to inject drugs. So, not only by not disclosing the disease to your partner is ripping away their rights, but it's also somewhat violating the laws. So, lastly is why should the partner know? So I only have one point for this, which is honesty is the best policy. So a relationship is basically built on trust. So if you were to keep it a secret, the risk of ruining a healthy relationship is very much possible. Other than that, by sharing, it could not only strengthen the trust between a relationship, but it can also be a way of gaining support from our partners. So by sharing, sometimes our partners who we are sharing to someone that we trust and we love. So those loved ones, they are most likely to support us and give us, support basically in handling a lifestyle with such disease. So yeah, that's basically what I wrote down.
Okay, all right. Just some of the issues about when we talk about law, all right. Well,
Mm-hmm.
when you talk about many states already have a law, apparently this is not applicable in Malaysia, yeah? All right. Just double check on the law acts, all right, whether it's placed in Malaysia
All right.
or we're talking about states as in the states itself, yeah? Okay,
All right.
and then yeah, the same arguments, some of the same arguments that I threw to some of your friends as well, all right? So in terms of trying to protect the sexual partner, we are putting the patient itself at the risk. Okay, all right, thank you very much. Thanks for trying, Ezra. Okay, good work here. We have one more, but I'm not gonna tap on that. Okay, but we will just go through. Okay, and see what are the ideas over here. Yeah. Okay, it is about building relationship. All right, being transparent, and then it will lead to a long-lasting relationship. We don't know that. The person must consider important decision. Yeah, well, this is important, all right, because we feel that some of the important decision will actually change because of this particular piece of information, and we feel that by revealing this piece of information, it provides an avenue for both the parties to make a collective decision that will lead for the betterment of both parties. Yeah, all right, this is an important idea as well, like one of your other friends spoke about it as well. And yeah, all right, trying to say the freedom to choose and so on. Yeah, all right, almost the same information. All right, so thank you. Okay, so interesting arguments. Yeah, so when I questioned all of you, all right, in terms of, how do you do this, why do you say that, and so forth, that means there is a gap in your explanation, all right? As I said, there has to be a flow. Remember the one of the previous lectures that I did in terms of how you can actually come up with idea and then the explanation followed by the link and so on. I'm not sure whether I've done this with the current batch. Have I done with you a lecture on the explanation? Well, maybe not, okay, but I can share with you the video recording of it later, all right? I think I've done that with the previous batch of training, okay, on how you come up with your argument and then you come up with the analysis based on that in terms of the explanation, in terms of how are we supposed to include the facts, and then how do we relate the fact and then talk about it and then go back to our argument itself. So there has to be a cohesive link in terms of our explanation, and it should bridge the gap, or it should tell us what are we trying to prove at the end of debate. Remember, the main goal is that what are we trying to prove at the end of debate? That means our stance itself. Okay. All right. So we're gonna do a debate session today. All right. So I just want to know who are your partners? Yeah, Azra, can I know who is in your team?
My partner is Melissa. Mel.
Okay, Mel. All right. Just a moment. What's wrong with my pen? Okay, Mel. Okay. Khadija.
Excuse me, madam, my partner is Aisha.
Achaya. Okay, and Jamia.
Mara.
Sorry,
My
Sarah.
partner is Mara.
Kamara. Okay.
Yeah, Kamara.
Okay, and Sophia, I think is with Christina. Yeah. All right. Okay, so I'm going to reveal the motion for you girls. All right, just a moment. Okay, just a second. Yeah, just a second. Where is it? Oops. Okay, is it this one? Okay. So I'm about to reveal the motion, and I will tell you who is in the government team and so forth, right? We're going to do a full swing of BP style, which means that you're going to have the Prime Minister, the opening government, the opening opposition, the closing government, and the closing opposition. We're going to try one round, okay? All right, so here's the motion. Malaysia, all right, I'm still going back to 2020, all right? Okay, never mind, we can still have 2021, all right? Malaysia in 2021 is still a man's world, all right? It's a feminist motion, all right? Because yesterday was Women's Day, we may never know. This kind of topics might be, might be thrown in the air as well. All right, so for opening government, all right, would be Jamia and Kamara. All right, you'll be the opening government team. Okay, and the closing government, all right, would be Khatija and Aisha. All right, the opening opposition would be Sophia and Christina, and Azra and Mel would be the closing opposition team. All right, so you have got 15 minutes to work on your case. The time starts now.
Before that, madam, may I ask, how long will the speeches be?
What?
Will the speeches still be like 7 minutes?
Yeah, well, yeah, of course. Of course. It
Excuse
depends.
me, madam.
Yeah.
For me and Christina, we are opening up or closing gov just now?
Yes, Sophia, right? Opening opposition.
Alright, thank you, madam.
Okay, you have 15 minutes. So, of course, if you can speak for 7 minutes, that would be good. But if not, it's okay. All right. Take 15 minutes to prep with your team. All right. Look out for important information that relates back to this particular motion. Hi, girls. You ready? Hello?
Excuse me, madam, wasn't like prep supposed to end at 5:30?
Oh, okay, all right. Oh, we still have another
Yeah.
2 minutes. Okay, okay, go on,
Yeah.
go on.
Okay. Thank you, madam.
All right. Okay. All right. Time's up now. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. So teams ready? Teams, are you ready? Opening government, are you ready?
A few moments, madam.
Opening government. Okay, all right. If you still need more time to work on with your case, all right, never mind. Probably we can, because I think the debate itself will consume about 1 hour plus, right? So we can meet. Can we meet tomorrow? Or is Wednesday? For debate itself, just for the debate per se?
Yeah, I think
Yes.
that's possible.
More than happy.
So sorry, madam.
Okay, all right. So I'm about to end the session for today. All right. Probably we can meet tomorrow. Okay. What about tomorrow is 10th, right? Okay. So what about meeting at about what time is convenient for you girls? Can I say at night? Can we meet at night tomorrow?
Yeah, I think at
Actually,
night.
it's okay. It's okay.
What about 9 o'clock? 9 p.m.
Sure.
Yeah, okay. So we will debate tomorrow at 9 o'clock, yeah? 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. So I'm hoping that we will have about an hour of debate session and then I can provide you constructive feedback. So you have the time off today to just work on your case and then to just do a little bit of research, yeah? Okay? Is that okay?
Yes, madam.
All right. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow. I'll share the link session for tomorrow, yeah? All right. So take care.
Okay, thank you,
Thank you,
madam.
madam.
No problem.
See
Thank you,
you.
Thank you,
madam.
madam.
No problem.
Madam.